FPL have made some monumental changes to their rules for the 25-26 season. We're now going to earn points for defensive contributions. In today's video, I'm going to break down how exactly that's going to work. So let's waste no time and get straight into today's FPL rule change video. Who expected this morning? I certainly didn't, but what a refreshing and positive change that FPL have made to the rules for the coming season. Now, with this rule change coming today, I think we could see in the next few days maybe rule changes as well as price reveals. So make sure you're subscribed to the FPL Mugs YouTube channel. I'm going to be making videos to help you guys out in FPL, and by you guys clicking that small red button, it helps me out massively, so I'd greatly appreciate if you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And of course, don't forget to like today's video. The like total goal is 30 likes on today's video. But how on earth does this defensive rule change actually work in FPL? Well, let's break it down. So, defenders now have more points to be earned in a game week, and it's all to do with their defensive contributions. Now, FPL has labelled this as CBIT: clearances, blocks, interceptions, and tackles. So 4 defensive ways to earn sort of points towards this defensive contribution total of 10 defensive contributions. So if they make 10 of those defensive contributions, those CBITs, they earn 2 extra points in that game week, which is absolutely massive. Now, the only downside is it's capped at 2 points. So we know with goalkeepers, when they make 3 saves, they get an extra 1 point, and that's scalable. So when they get 3 saves, that's 1, 6, that's 2, 9, that's 3 points. But with defenders, it's just capped at 2 points. So for example, if your defender gets 20 CBIT in a fixture, they won't be getting 4 points. They'll remain at that baseline of 2 points. But, of course, how can we leave out midfielders and forwards from this change? FPL have also allowed midfielders and forwards to gain these extra points, which is absolutely insane. We're going to be scoring more points than ever before in FPL. Now, it's slightly different with midfielders and forwards. We're still following that CBIT, the clearance, blocks, interceptions, and tackles, but midfielders and forwards also have ball recoveries wrote in there, so 5 total ways to earn defensive contribution points. Now, of course, with that extra way of scoring those defensive contribution points, they need extra defensive actions to get to that 2-point total, and they need a total of 12 defensive actions rather than defenders only needing 10. Now, ball recoveries defined by FPL is when 2 teams have fought for a ball and then the player has a possession of the ball. It's then what they do with that ball. Do they start a counter-attack with a pass, which is completed, or do they remain in safe possession with their team? Those 2 actions after recovering the ball then count to the overall defensive contribution system. Now, these changes on the surface are pretty difficult to understand, but hopefully me breaking it down in that way has allowed you to understand a little bit more on how this actually works. Let me know though in the comments of this video what you think of these changes. Do you think they're positive for FPL, or are you not too keen on them and would you rather stay on how everything was last season? Now, I think 2 absolutely essential things to do right now if you're still a little bit confused on things is go to the article that FPL have posted on the Premier League website, where they showcase how Tarkowski earned his 10 contributions against Manchester City, and also they've done a video on Moises Caicedo and how he got 12 defensive contributions against Arsenal, seeing real life sort of footage on how the rules actually, are implemented in real games. It were a massive help on how I understood these rules, and hopefully you watching this video will get more of an idea on how they work as well. Now, there's a reason that Tarkowski and Moises Caicedo were used as examples in the visuals I've just recommend you go and watch. It's because Tarkowski would have earned a lot of points from these rule changes last season if they were implemented. He would have scored an extra 44 points last season if those rules were in place. Same with Moises Caicedo. If those rules were in place, he would have scored 42 extra points. So 55.3% of the games that Moises Caicedo started last season, he would have earned those defensive contribution points. And similar with Tarkowski, but 66.7% of the games he started, he would have earned those extra 2 points, which is just unbelievable. The amount of points that actually is just game changing, completely game changing. I can't stress that enough. Now, my overall thoughts on these changes, as I mentioned in the intro, they're refreshing and massively positive going into the next season. I think real life actions like these defensive contributions should definitely earn you points in FPL, bringing you closer and closer to being rewarded for picking genuinely good footballing players. I think it's a massively positive change, and I'm really looking forward to it this Premier League season. But to outro today's video, I always like to give you guys a massive thank you for supporting the FPL Mugs YouTube channel. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I'm going to be making massive amounts of pre-season content going into the Premier League season. But that is everything for today's video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.